The first time Lieutenant Marcus Hale heard the cries, he thought they were a malfunction in the station's comm system. Echoes that didn't belong, bleeding through static. But they weren't mechanical distortions. They were unmistakably alive. High-pitched, trembling, threaded with despair. The mining station orbiting Arcanis 12 was supposed to be lifeless save for humans and their machines. The planet below was uninhabitable, its storms fierce enough to peel armor from a shuttle. The station's crew was small engineers, miners, a few guards, and Marcus, one of the lone security officers. None of them reported the sounds. None of them seemed to hear them at all. But Marcus did. At first, he kept quiet, chalking it up to exhaustion. Long shifts, recycled air, and endless patrols had a way of breaking the mind. Still, every night as he walked the steel corridors, the cries returned, soft at first, then urgent, tugging at him as though echoing from far beyond the bulkheads. One night, unable to ignore them any longer, Marcus traced the sound to a restricted sector, sublevel C, where the mining corporation stored classified cargo. The doors were sealed with codes he wasn't authorized to use. The cries bled through the walls like mist seeping from cracks. "Help me!" He froze. The words weren't English, but he understood them, as if the plea had bypassed language altogether. The next day, Marcus cornered Chief Engineer Varys in the mess hall. "What's down in sublevel C?" he asked, his voice casual but sharp enough to draw suspicion. Varys stiffened. "Restricted. Cargo from the deep mines. None of your concern." Marcus leaned in. "I hear something down there. Someone." Varys set his utensils down with deliberate care. "Then I suggest you stop listening. You want to keep your post? Don't ask questions you don't want answered." It was a threat, but also confirmation. That night, Marcus smuggled an access chip from a drunk technician and descended into sublevel C. The air was colder, humming with generators. Rows of reinforced crates lined the floor, most sealed with warning glyphs. He followed the cries through the maze of cargo until he reached a cylindrical chamber at the far end. Inside, bathed in pale containment light, was a girl. Her body was thin, her skin faintly luminous like moonlit water. Shackles bound her wrists, glowing with energy suppressors. Her eyes, enormous, silver, and unblinking, locked onto him the instant he entered. Her lips parted, and though no sound reached his ears, he felt the words burn inside his skull. "You heard me." Marcus approached cautiously. "What are you doing here? Why are you locked up?" She tilted her head, studying him. "Because they fear me. They dug too deep, unearthed what they did not understand. And now I am a specimen in their cage." Her voice in his mind was fragile but steady. Marcus scanned the chamber. The monitors displayed readings he couldn't interpret, except for one label, Subject K7. "You're not a specimen," he muttered. "You're alive." Her luminous eyes softened. "Then prove it. Free me." For days, Marcus wrestled with a decision. The corporation had immense power. Crossing them was suicide. Yet the girl's cries haunted him, gnawing at his conscience. He began sneaking back, bringing water, small scraps of food, and listening to her story. Her name was Elira. She came from the deep caverns of Arcanis 12, where people lived hidden from the storms. The miners had breached one of their sanctuaries, slaughtering many, capturing her when she tried to shield the young. "They think I am dangerous because my voice carries," Elira explained. "But it is not a weapon. It is a call. I reached for help, and only you answered." Each time Marcus left her, guilt weighed heavier. His fellow officers noticed his distraction. Command grew suspicious. Yet he couldn't turn back. The breaking point came when Varys summoned him. "Lieutenant Hale," the engineer said, sliding a datapad across the table. On it was Elira's chamber feed. She was curled in a corner, trembling. "The corporation has ordered a transfer." Tomorrow she's shipped to the core for study. Marcus clenched his fists. Study? She's a prisoner. Varys's gaze was cold. She's property. Don't confuse the two. And if you've been sneaking down there, don't. For your own sake. That night, Elira reached for him more desperately than ever. They will take me. Break me. I will not survive the core. Marcus stood at the edge of a chamber, torn between fear and resolve. Then we won't let them, he whispered. The escape was madness from the start. Marcus disabled the surveillance feeds, hacked the locks, and slipped Elira out under cloak scavenged from the cargo. She was weak, her legs faltering after weeks in confinement, but her touch sent a strange warmth through him, a reminder that she was alive, not a specimen. Alarms blared before they even reached the hangar. Guards swarmed, weapons raised. Marcus fired back, his blaster crackling against steel walls. Elira clung to him, her eyes shimmering with sorrow. I don't want blood spilled for me, she said. Too late, Marcus growled, pulling her into cover. As the guards closed in, Elira's voice rose, not in words, but in resonance. A soundless wave rippled through the air, freezing the men where they stood. Their weapons dropped, their eyes clouded with confusion. Marcus stared. I thought you said. It is not a weapon, she said, tears streaking her face. But it can still protect. They reached the shuttle bay, but Varys was waiting. Damn you! Hail! He spat, weapon drawn. Do you know what you're throwing away? She's a discovery of a lifetime. With her energy, we could power colonies, build fleets. And you're wasting it on pity. Marcus positioned himself between Elira and the barrel of the gun. She's not yours to use. She's not yours either, Varys sneered. Step aside. The standoff stretched like an eternity. Elira's hand touched Marcus's shoulder. Her voice whispered in his mind. Do you trust me? He nodded. Her silver eyes flared with light, and a surge of resonance pulsed outward. Varys screamed, dropping the gun as he collapsed. Not dead, but broken, his mind overwhelmed. Elira swayed, exhausted. Marcus caught her, then hauled her into the shuttle. Engines roared, and together they blasted free of the station, leaving alarms and chaos in their wake. Freedom wasn't easy. The corporation branded Marcus a traitor, a deserter. They hunted him across systems, placing bounties on his head. Elira, still recovering, hid with him on fringe worlds. But for the first time since he enlisted, Marcus felt alive. Around campfires on barren moons, Elira told him more of her people, how they lived in harmony with the planet's energies, how they mourned the invasion. She laughed softly at his clumsy attempt to cook alien roots, teased him for being so serious, and grew stronger each day they remained together. You could have ignored me, she said once, her silver gaze fixed on him. Others did, but you chose to hear. Marcus smiled faintly. Maybe I needed to listen. Maybe I was waiting for someone to call. Her luminous hand brushed his. Then perhaps we both were saved. Months turned into years. They never returned to Arcanis 12, but whispers spread of Elira's people rising again, reclaiming the caverns. Some said her cries had carried farther than she realized, stirring resistance. As for Marcus, he remained by her side, no longer a soldier of the corporation,